about. Trying to figure out what it's all about. Existentialist. Am I worth anything or just a scout? I don't know.
That was Great Sounds of Watts without sound of WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven. My name is Preston, and I am still high on Dunkin' Donuts coffee. This is Three Nerds Venting with my two favorite people in the world. We got Long Island raised, Elm City made award winner. His name is Easy Blues. And we got the one and only OG Blurred, supervillain to many, superhero to the ones that matter, and is always your teacher inside and outside of the classroom. His name is the Professor. Three Nerds Vending, three grown men talking about pop culture and how we feel and getting this nerd therapy out of our system because it's therapeutic for all of us. This is the most structured, unstructured show on WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven, and let's begin. Black Panther 3. Denzel Washington. What role you think he should play? I thought about this, and I felt the villain Achibe would be good. And I felt just with the way the direction they're going, I don't want it to tie into anything. I don't want it to tie to any other like continuing storyline or highlight all that. I want it to be its own Wakandan thing. Because, like, don't get me wrong, I love Black Panther 1 and 2. I love what they did with 2. I'm discontinuing the Chadwick Boseman, everything. I love what they did for what they had. Because I love how all the actors came about. I love Killmonger, everything, Black Panther 2. I want to see more of Wakanda. I want to see more just Wakandan story. I don't want to see him outside of France and nothing. I want it strictly in the country. And I feel they can do it with that villain. I strongly feel they can do it with that villain. Another second tier option I feel Denzel Washington can play, because I don't want Denzel to just be a cameo or one and done. I want him to be like a major integral part of that movie. I feel he can play an OG Black Panther if they decide to go a little bit of that route. And he could be like one of the old school guys, like teaching people what to do. Those are my two options as far as for Denzel, because this is kind of like his final curtain call he announced, because he says he's only going to do so many films until his retirement. Because he says he's going to find, because he said as soon as you see the King Lear film he's doing, that's it. But I guess he tied on to do Equalizer and a couple other films in the middle, but as soon as you see King Lear, that's his last film he's doing.
Really?
And I respect that. So, but I feel Achibe. That's my pick. I could be pronouncing it wrong, but I feel that should be the perfect role for him. So, any of you guys want to chime in on this? I'm really excited to hear your opinion.
You want me to go, or you gonna?
I mean, you're smiling, so you might as well.
Yeah, you can go, because I'm gonna be the least informed about this whole thing. But
You're right.
I'm gonna have the best character, but he also probably has no relation to anything that ever happened to freaking Marvel.
Bashenga.
I said it wrong. Bashenga. Bashenga. Yeah.
I think it should be, and that would be amazing, because I'd like to see his interactions with Bast, being the first Black Panther, right? I want to see his interactions with Bast. Because this is, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But if it did, this is how we work it. Right? So I want them to bring the Black Panther back to a T'Challa, right?
Okay.
How they accomplish that. In the comics, one of the last times that T'Challa died, he came back, because remember there's this loose thing where Coogler is talking about adding some supernatural elements.
Yes. Yes. The horror
T'Challa comes back, right? T'Challa comes back as the king of the dead. Right? And he can control the zombies, the Marvel zombies, right?
That did happen.
Yes.
That did happen.
So this whole thing with, I would love to see him come back by way of that, because that'll also tie directly in to Secret Wars with because he was one of the integral parts of them even surviving the Thor Corps and all of the people that were down with Doom when he was Rabumalal, right? So I can really, really see that them bringing him back with the whole supernatural element, but having Denzel Washington as being the first Black Panther, right? His exchanges with Bast and saying, let's bring him back. Let's bring him back. And then and again, it might sound like it's a one and done for him.
Yeah.
But let it be a one and done for him. Let him be not a cameo, but let him have a significant role.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
It's going to take a minute. Yeah, it's going to take a minute. And Bashenga is the first Black Panther. So it's going to take a minute for him to, get through the whole thing and get everything right. But I think it could work. I think
Denzel
it could really,
makes a
really
great
work.
villain. Denzel makes a great villain.
But I don't think he should
play
this time.
I mean,
he does, no doubt about it.
I wouldn't be mad if he's the main villain of the next one. I wouldn't be mad. But
I would.
Bashenga's a great pick for him.
Yeah, I think so.
Bashenga is a phenomenal pick for him. Either Bashenga or Chiba, either or.
Yeah, and I think that this would get some of Ryan Coogler's respect back from me.
Respect back?
Yeah, he messed up with Black Panther 2. He messed up big time. So
it's what he had. He had no choice.
Nope. I'm not even gonna give that to him.
Man. All right.
I'm never gonna give that to him. So
right.
no, thank you.
All right, this is going to be the whole episode we talk about this issue. So, and I love you to death, but easy. You got to talk about your pick because we got a lot more to cover.
Well, it's no, because my pick, look, I don't have a particular character name. I know the character in which he should play.
Okay.
He should play the new mentor type of character who happens to be, turning towards the evil side and lead her down a path of an evil aspect of it. To then, if he is the first Black Panther,
right?
That's even better because leader taking that mantle back because toxic masculinity and blah 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 blah. I think that'll work out really great, and it'd be a really good story, and they can make $500,000.
That's fair. That's fair. That's a fair pick. Aldous Hodge as T'Challa.
Nope.
No. That's a no.
That's a no. That's a big no.
Okay.
Huge.
I think he could be a good Bishop.
He'd be a great Bishop.
I'm going for Bishop for Aldous Hodge. I think Aldous Hodge can be a phenomenal Bishop if X-Men and their mutant direction is done the right way.
Yes.
Bishop is definitely in his corner. I wouldn't be mad if he's T'Challa, but I think a Bishop would be a better fit for him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You can see that.
Bishop would be amazing. He has the right built for him. Just give him some dreads, put the M on it.
The acting chops, everything works for Bishop. Everything works
for Bishop.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be amazing.
He'll be a phenomenal part of the team because he was a part of the team for a good period.
Mm-hmm.
Bishop will be a good for X-Men reboot for him. That'll be
perfect.
Good redemption from Hawkman and Black Adam.
Oh yeah.
That's what I go with. I guess everybody agrees with me.
Yeah, I don't disagree. At all.
I don't want him to be T'Challa. I just don't want him to be Black Panther. He can't do it.
I think it should get an unknown. Especially if you're gonna reintroduce T'Challa, I say get all new actors, and after Secret Wars, do the soft reboot. That would be the best option in my opinion. Let Shuri have her third film, and then after that, start over.
Look. I have no problem with her getting through the third film, right?
Right.
But I do think at the very end, there's like a hinting of T'Challa coming back as the King of the Dead, because again, they're gonna need him during Battle World. They're gonna need him.
See,
he's what turns the tide.
Yo, you're not telling any lies at all, but I feel they're gonna tell it their way. I feel a lot is not gonna be mentioned within the comics. A lot of stuff is not going to be what made this story incredibly great. And I feel it's going to be more of a movie Battle World and a movie Secret Wars than really tying into the actual comic. Yes, I feel they're going to highlight some great parts of that story, But I feel just with direction I see the MCU going past, present, and maybe a little bit of foreseeable future, that we are going to get their own storytelling of this great, great piece of art. That's how I feel.
Okay.
You're telling no lies. I agree with your direction. It'll be cool to see.
It'll be real
I
cool
feel, we know what we're doing. You guys don't. You're going to pay to see it anyway. And so most likely it's pretty much true.
Yeah.
Yeah. It really is. It's supporting you guys.
And I think because the shakeup that Endgame made to that universe, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And the heavy loss that was incurred during that, right?
Yeah.
If you're gonna right the ship, because there's nothing wrong with adding new characters to the universe. Nothing
Not
wrong
at all.
with that.
I agree. Not at all.
But that doesn't mean that you have to kill off the characters.
No,
to
there's a
make
lot of
room.
killing done. Yeah, I
right.
agree.
To make room, right?
I
Even
agree.
like with some of the bad guys. There's some of the bad guys that the MCU killed off that they shouldn't have, that come back to fight another day, and they're even more of a threat. And you have more of a story to tell, right? But they have this terrible habit. So again, this whole incursion thing and Battle World and Doomsday and all that, right? That in my head, if they're thinking Marvel, pay attention. That's what rights the ship. That's what rights the ship. This whole thing is of Chris Evans coming back as an evil version of himself, right? You can kind of fake tie that in to that whole Battle World scenario where that Captain America fought the Sam Wilson Captain America. The female Thor fought the original Thor, and you had all this this change of characters. The Spider-Man, the Peter Parker Spider-Man fought the Miles Morales Spider-Man. So that's how they introduced some of those characters back into the world. We got Miles Morales in the 616 in the comic book from his world being destroyed, and he ended up staying in the 616. So we have all these again, Black Panther was dead at that time, right? He came back as King of the Dead. Boom. Now you have a reason to bring him back. So you can tie it together the right way. You can do it the right way. But again, it's okay to say, all right, maybe we were a little premature by getting rid of some of these characters or killing them off or retiring, something like that. Because the formula was working. Right. But I think it was a Disney, we're cheap and we don't want to keep paying these actors.
Of course.
I think that's what the move was. But the reality is you started bleeding money. I'm talking to you, Eternals. I'm talking to you. And some of the other things that they took chances on that they didn't have to take chances.
Yeah, too much experimenting.
Right.
Too much experimenting. I agree.
Right. So now it's like, all right, we are introducing these new characters plus these heavy hitter characters. So now we can bring back some of those characters that we really need for it all to make sense. So I'm hoping that that's what happens.
Yeah. And I really feel the more Marvel for fans was a bad idea. I like the idea of less is more, because those first couple phases, it was before Disney Plus. So you had less Marvel, so they focused more on the quality of those projects because they had time to work in between. Now it's just like, we got to put this series in this year. We got to put this movie in this year. And there's so much they're focused on, where you get probably about 2 to 3 quality and probably about 6 to 8 less quality of what they should have been, in my opinion. I felt Eternals wasn't needed. It boggles my mind how there's not a Shang-Chi 2. It boggles my mind, because that film,
supposedly there's going to be one.
It should have been one.
I heard,
it should have been one. In my opinion, it should have been one.
Right.
If it don't kill you're already gonna kill the momentum winning all that time.
Well, again, that's why they introduced him. They dropped him in that What If episode, because they know they have to bring him back. They know at some point they should have. You're right. They should have second planet. Absolutely. But some of the errors that they made, even in the Shang-Chi movie and stuff, and trying to explain it. So I mean, I get I get if you looked at, and then here's the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now the Netflix characters are coming for the whole street level stuff, right?
Yep.
And I'm happy
Right,
about
which
that.
I dig.
Yeah.
They better finally announce Finn Jones ain't coming back. They better. I'm sorry, they better.
I think they're bringing an OG cast back, like all the OG defenders.
I know, I saw that. I'm
Yeah.
acting like I didn't see any of that, and I'm not feeling it. If I got to find him and have a conversation with him, he better get his tail in the gym and get busy. He better be showing some stuff on Instagram that he's actually with a fight choreographer. He better do something, sir. He better. Finn, I'm talking to you, sir. Don't be all hot because you think that you was on Game of Thrones and you were all of that and stuff, and then you stunk up the whole thing with Danny Rand. Don't be doing that no more, sir. We're not going for that. Sorry, I had to go there for a second.
No. I
Do not
appreciate
be
you going there
sorry.
too,
One bit.
because that's the whole thing. Is if you look at it, that's kind of like where they started to lose the plot.
Yeah.
Be more of a meh than anything else.
Yep.
Even though they should have been two phenomenal aspects of it. Like, if you're going to take the
Agreed.
chance and you're going to make this swing on Ant-Man and you're going to do the Scott Lang Ant-Man,
Yep.
then you definitely do a heist film. That makes the most amount of sense.
Exactly.
But it's still got to be better written. It's still got to be
right.
It's got to be bulletproof. That's I say that all the time. Art's got to be bulletproof.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking of bulletproof, what's not bulletproof? This is a great trailer that came out probably like a month and a half ago. Before I planned this stuff out for the syllabus of the show, Sinners. Those guys aren't bulletproof at all. Those guys are dead. Vampire film. It's like Rosewood
so much
meets From Dusk Till Dawn, and it's one of my most anticipated films.
I can't wait
to see this year.
I can't wait.
A lot of people say they revealed a lot of stuff with this trailer. I don't think so. I think they showed what they wanted to show you.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Because I feel there's a ways, because Ryan Coogler is a great storyteller. I think he twists some stuff to make you think you know what you're seeing, but really in reality you don't know what you're seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Oh, there's more. There's so much more.
Oh yeah, I can't wait.
Oh, I can't wait. Oh my God, I can't wait. That one's gonna be amazing.
And he said the main focus is not vampires.
See, watch. I'm excited.
They're gonna go to other supernatural stuff, which I'm really excited about. Oh, goodness. I see you tilting your head, Easy.
I'd kind of I want to know what type of From Dusk Till Dawn are we gonna see here? Does this also mean that it's gonna be like is it gonna be like a Rob Zombie type of horror movie where there's just boobs everywhere, just like boob,
Nah, I don't think that.
Well, you have to think about that though. That's when you say From Dusk Till Dawn, again, that was kind of like the grindhouse type of aspect was have all of this extra nudity and all this because there's a whole aspect. I remember when From Dusk Till Dawn was in the theaters and you went to see From Dusk Till Dawn because you wanted to went to go see a horror film, and it was just a really good reason to watch naked women for 45 minutes. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
Nope.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all.
Not at all. Not at all.
Not at all.
So
it's pretty funny.
I'm normally not one to I'm not a huge fan of period pieces, right?
Right.
So the fact that I'm excited about this one because of what I think they could possibly introduce. One of our episodes we were talking about how I think that they might even, loosely talk about sundown towns and you know what I mean?
So I'm thinking they're going to focus. I think that's what they're going to focus on.
That would be a great because it would be like I wonder if that so right. I can just imagine if vampires aren't the only focus of this, I could just imagine what could possibly
what else will come.
Holy moly!
It's just so many questions, but in a good way. It's a good excitement.
Yeah.
Next trailers that came out: Jurassic Park's coming back. I know I said my feelings on Jurassic Park, how I feel about this franchise, but it looks okay. It doesn't look, I need to rush to the theater to see this. I can wait for it to come out on Peacock in a couple
Yeah, I'm
months.
gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait.
But there's a rumor that this might be rated R, and this might like focus on
Ooh.
horror stuff, which I'm okay with if done right. But I feel since it's Jurassic Park and it's a huge franchise, they're gonna focus on it being PG-13, which I
Something
understand.
that they did that I'm extremely excited about, and people
Yeah.
might not agree with me on this.
Go ahead.
They cast an action hero in it. I don't care what nobody says.
Scarlett Johansson.
Yes,
No,
Yeah.
I agree.
cast
I agree.
an
I agree.
action
She
hero
is an
in it,
action hero. Legit, she is an
and
action hero.
she's legit, right?
Agreed.
And I
I agree with
don't,
that.
I don't care if people don't like it or agree with me with this, but she's gonna nail that part just from the
Oh
trailer.
yeah, I think she's gonna be good.
I'm
Acting wise,
feeling her.
she's gonna be
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Oh
Her
yeah.
and Mahershala, amazing.
Yeah, I am feeling it. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna see what she's gonna do because, to me, yet again, I'm thinking, all right, not only are we gonna get a Chris Evans coming back in the MCU, but they got to keep some of these actors still kind of relevant, right? So this is like, all right, let's throw her a bone because she's still down with the crown. Let's get her, because in the comic book she's been cloned. She's come back
Right.
multiple times. The whole Red Room got this whole thing. But because she's a super soldier, I don't think people really realize that, but she's a super soldier. So
She is.
I get, so I'm like, bet let's keep her relevant too because I want to see her come back as the Widow. And again, this is another thing for Battle World. We could see her Widow fighting the Florence Pugh Widow. Boom, we got our Widow back.
We do on
We got our Widow.
WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven. Continue, Professor.
So I'm looking forward to this Jurassic Park movie. As long this is gonna be terrible to say this, but I'm gonna say it. As long as they don't like do the callbacks to the other characters, let her have this one. Let her have.
No, I
this
think that's
one.
what's going to happen though.
Yeah, let Jeff Goldblum and Sam Neill and Laura Kinney. Let them Laura whatever her name is. I forgot her last name. And let them stay where they are, and let her have that. Don't Chris Pratt. Don't let him come. Let her handle this. Let her handle this. And if they do a rated R, that'll be dope.
Agreed. Now, since you tied in Marvel into it, our thoughts on the visual of Fantastic Four: The First Steps. Cons for me. Maybe it's because I'm older, but for the Thing, I need that Brooklyn accent voice. It didn't feel the Thing voice to me. I think he's a great actor. I think he's going to knock it out the park. But to me, as I grew up like watching the cartoon, even I enjoyed the 60s cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
But I need that grungy Brooklyn Italian voice for the Thing.
Yeah.
It's just Jewish. I'm sorry. Brooklyn
Yeah.
Jewish voice for I need that. Just for me, like my inner child needs that, but I understand you're reintroducing and you're introducing this version of the team to an audience. So I understand the change of the voice. It's just not. I'm just not attached to that yet.
Right.
I love the fact it's in the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really cool. I'm interested to see because, in my opinion, yes, it's a different universe, but I'm interested to see what other teams are in that 60s wise. Are there going to be a 60s Avengers? Are they going to like highlight a 60s X-Men? Is a 60s Spider-Man going to be swinging throughout that universe? Right. I'm interested in that. I'm happy we didn't see Mr. Fantastic's powers. I'm happy about that.
Agreed.
Maybe it needs some more CGI touching, if I can barely speak. I love the way Johnny Storm looks. I love the way the Thing looks. It's kind of accurate. I love how they mentioned Herbie in there.
Yep.
But I don't know. I have to see. This was a teaser trailer, so I have to see the next full trailer to give you a full opinion on this. But anyone can go ahead and give their opinion on how they feel, just what was presented to us.
If I can give my opinion really quickly, because I'm
Go
going
ahead.
to take Penny out for a second.
Yeah, you got.
Okay, word.
So the thing was perfect for me.
Right.
It looked great. I agree with the voice is a little too soft, and
Yeah.
but that's all right. It's all right. I figured
I'll probably get
they'll
used
work
to
it
it
out.
though. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I thought. I'd probably get used to it.
Mhm.
The aesthetic I like everything that I'm seeing. What I'm not too happy on is, and it's a good thing, is that I don't know much more about what I've just seen. I don't know more like about the story and where they're going with it and how they're. I kind of like that. That's a little bit hush hush at the moment.
Right.
And I'm glad I didn't see Reed Richards stretching, because I think that they want that to be a surprise.
Yeah.
I want to be surprised. So yeah, so I'm excited about it. I just I think because I don't know what they're gonna do, I think
Mhm.
that's like kind of like I'm scared, but I'm excited at the same time.
Agreed.
All right.
You want me to press pause real quick while you go do your thing?
Uh, can you?
Yeah, I
Or
can. I can.
okay. Yeah. All right. Just give me a second.
All right.
Yeah,
3, 2.
So, in my opinion, I really think that they're going in a really, really good direction with the Fantastic Four. And again, because they're not showing too much
Right.
and you're not really exactly sure what the story is going to really be. And even though it feels like a kind of introduction story or an origin story, at the same time, it seems like it's a lot more than that. I think they're doing the part that they didn't do in the comic book, is the transition from, them going in outer space and then getting powers and then becoming America's, first superhero family. And
Right.
so that whole thing, I think that they're going to get an opportunity to play that out,
Right.
because you also have to understand that Reed Richards, and Ben Grimm being an astronaut and stuff, they have something going on already with the scientific community.
Right.
Right.
So making that transition to this world-renowned scientist and
Mhm.
astronaut to superheroes and stuff, it's like I can imagine that the government or the powers that be are not going to be very, very on board at first.
Mhm.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then the decision to not be masked superheroes, and they're just like, who they are, their real names, where they live, et cetera, et cetera. That transition too, is something, because again, I don't know much about that universe where they're from.
Right.
So I don't know if superheroes actually exist in that world.
Right.
And again, they might be the first. I don't know, but I do know that them again making that transition is going to be really, really interesting, and I want to see that played out before it even
Right.
gets to like any real action.
Right.
All right. Easy.
Yeah, no, that's a big part of the story that I hope they tell as well. The growing pains of growing into, the national stardom or the international stardom thing. That's something that was so twined in the story of the Fantastic Four. To not include that in would be a crime. That's why the first two films were criminal.
Mm.
Mm.
No, it's just they tried to tell the story, and they wanted to stay away from some of that things that make it awkward, but it's just those moments of awkwardness that is, especially when dealing with the Fantastic Four, when literally your insecurities and your faults become your superpowers. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like this is like if we were talking about, oh, I got all sorts of Greek tragedy on you and all that stuff before, but you don't get a bigger Greek tragedy than that. What made you small now makes you strong, and we've had that now carry all the way through to Percy Jackson tells the same story.
Yes.
So I think it's a beautiful hero arc to tell,
Mhm.
and telling the story of the growing pains between regulardom and stardom is super, super, super important. And another story that it's a tale as old as time that will never ever go away. You know, so I think it makes a lot of sense. I really like the visual aspect of the film. I think it's gonna be really good. I'm a Pedro Pascal mark. So you know, he could do anything. Like, I just saw him in the Saturday Night Live 50th. It
It was great.
Genius, absolute genius. You know, he's just so good. He's good at everything he does. Am I happy 100% that he's, you know, Reed Richards now? Do I care? No. It's going to be a good film.
And I think he'll do a respectable job.
Yeah.
Yeah, he will.
That's what I care about. And
Yeah.
in addition to that, right? I thought about something you just said about the superstardom and the right. So if they play it that they're the only heroes and that in that time period, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we get the whole incursion thing and they end up in the 616.
Right.
I can imagine being the only game in town, right? The only heroes in your universe, right? How lonely that could be. And
Yeah.
how tough it can be, right? They end up in the 616 where it's commonplace. We got mutants, we got other superpowered beings, we got geniuses and stuff that are present, right? They're not going to feel so alone. And this is it's gonna work for, I think that's what's gonna work for them, because I can imagine, you know, in some aspects, some people being afraid of them. I like what they did though with the Thing. And remember one of the scenes in the trailer where you see the little kids wearing the Thing holiday
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I like
Halloween
that.
mask?
Yeah.
I thought that was dope.
Yeah.
But that showed to me, because you saw no other superhero. You didn't see a Hulk face, you didn't see, right? So that was kind of showing to me that I think that that's what they're going to play with. They're going to play with the idea that they're the only heroes in that world at that moment.
That's cool.
Well, for the longest time, that was their moniker, was they were the world's first superhero family superheroes. You know, and that was their thing, was they had the marketing thing behind it. I remember they kind of referenced it in the first movie that they did when they had the action figure, you know, because they were bigger than just the you know, just. They were bigger than just being superheroes. They were superheroes that had their own toy line, that had, you know, they had a full brand. And I think that's key in talking about the Fantastic Four. It's always been something that's been throughout the entire history of them, was how they did it, and they transitioned in such a public format.
Right.
You know,
and the fact that they had like the support and the backing of the superhero community and the government, and you know what I mean, and the scientific community, they really, I hate to say it like this, but they really can do no wrong.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it kind of almost puts them in a really, really good position to do this, because again, if there were superheroes during that time period, which again, there was no sign of anything or any mention in the whole thing. Plus, there was like that government, whoever those officials were that were at the house, and they were like showing, well, we live, even though we have superpowers, we live a normal life, and we have dinner every Sunday at 7, and that. So they're trying to, you know, make it portray like, yes, we have these abilities. Yes, but we're still a normal family, and yes, we can save the world and do whatever, but we're still a normal family. There's this normalcy, and that kind of is kind of the bridge to acceptance for other heroes that might pop up. You see what I'm saying? So again, the Fantastic Four always, to me, even in the comic books, in the regular 616 comic books, they always represented to me this normalcy. Yes, they have abilities, but they're still a family. They still, you know.
Well, it's funny, because for me, it does it in a negative way, because it's like, oh, it highlights how to mask. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can still be different. You can still be different, but as long as you're their type of different, it's totally cool.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that kind of annoys me, but I understand it being so important in that type of storytelling for that type of aspect. But yeah, it does kind of like, yeah, you could totally be different as long as you're different just like us.
Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. You're right.
Which will break a Billy first, Superman or Fantastic Four this year?
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four.
Going with
Hand,
Soups.
hands down. Fantastic Four.
I'm going with Soups.
You gonna be disappointed.
I'm not going to be disappointed because it's time for underrated, overrated, and waste of time.
I'm going with Soups.
Children's TV shows. So Soups is your waste of time?
No, I
I know.
parodying you.
It's funny.
I was just parodying you, bro. Okay.
Children's TV shows.
Yeah.
Children TV shows.
Okay. So.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, what are we talking about children's TV? Because like this is a broad spectrum. Because like honestly,
Yeah, that's why I picked it.
The biggest waste of time for children's TV shows, and anyone who's a parent,
You can even talk about back in
Callow.
the day. Today, it's
Callow
all
is
you.
the biggest waste of time. But Callow is you
Callow?
watch this kid. Yeah, Callow. If you have ever seen it.
Oh, Callow with the bald head.
Callow, that kid. Yeah, that's a
Caillou.
waste
Yeah,
of time.
Caillou.
Whatever his name is.
Oh, yeah.
Caillou. Yeah.
I hated that one. Oh my god. Yeah, my kids used to try to watch it. I'd be like,
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not watching that nonsense. I'm trying to.
Yes, atrocious.
Atrocious, just demon child.
Overrated for me. Dora the Explorer.
Dora the Explorer.
Dora the Explorer.
Time
Okay.
again? I think I got frozen for a second.
Yeah, Dora the Explorer. It's my overrated only because. All right, so let's put the whole package together, right?
Okay.
I understood what they were trying to do, and I thought it was brilliant how they were trying to do it, and what because my kids, my daughter, she was young enough to appreciate it. She loved it.
Right.
And I saw what they were trying to teach and everything like that, but it just, to me, it just, after a while it became a little hokey. And then you had the spin-off with her cousin Diego and everything. And again, what I appreciate was, one, it was a child of color and she had her own show, and they were teaching kids Spanish, and it was great. I understood what they were trying to do. That monkey boots, he can go somewhere. That's ridiculous. Swiper.
No swiping.
Swiper, no swiping. Oh man! And then he'd like walk off. Swiper could have ripped him out the frame. He could have, but it's a kid show, so we can't do it. But I just thought it was a little overhyped, and I think that they were trying too hard. And then when that wasn't enough, then you drop Diego. And then Diego became a little more popular, and then you drop Diego, and then you get, what I mean? So it just seems like they were trying.
And then you
watch
watch
Nickelodeon brand.
Dora. That was ridiculous.
Oh gosh, did you see that? Did you see the movie? You see they had a movie that came out? What were they thinking? What were they thinking? What were they thinking? Just let her disappear. Like don't do that.
Yeah,
don't do that. Oh my god. So. Again, and I think her and the whole, because that was a Nickelodeon thing, right?
That was Nickelodeon, was Dora the Explorer.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think their whole line of shows, all their shows, I think were kind of a waste.
Okay. Right. The whole Nickelodeon?
The whole Nickelodeon.
Yo.
I can see that.
Except, wait, there's a couple that I'll give a pass to. But for the most part, it was like they were just trying a little bit too hard for me.
Oh man,
they were trying a little too hard for me. I'm sorry.
Hold that, my millennialism. Oh my goodness, my bones. Oh, the whole Nickelodeon. Oh man.
Well, no, there was a lot of it that was meh.
Yeah.
Okay. No. We gotta move on.
Look, don't get me wrong. I love Rocco's.
Rocco, I love.
Don't get me
wrong. That's my joint. That's my joint.
Hey Arnold, oh my god, yeah.
Hey Arnold, favorite cartoon.
Loved Hey Arnold. A lot of
them were just and it was like after a while it was like saturated with it, and I'm like, I get that you want to, Count Chicken was okay. Ren and Stimpy was okay. Like I saw, but you see what
Count
I'm saying?
Chicken's Cartoon
Dexter
Network.
Laboratory was so. I don't ex- but a lot of the Nickelodeon shows after a while was like kind of all right. We get it. We get it now.
Yeah.
We get it.
It's kind of like look, I don't again, I don't pour salt on anyone else's hustle, but it's kind of like Candlebox. Candlebox got
Yeah.
signed, and they gave you a good record, but they were never going to be part of the grunge scene of the '90s.
Got it.
Gotcha.
So yeah, you get it. You get
Yeah,
it.
no,
You get it.
I totally, I feel on that. And I feel that way about things. There's times where I think shows or things have like jumped the shark in those type of aspects of it.
Right.
So
I
Right.
jumped the
feel-
shark too because of WNHH LP 103.5 FM New Haven. I definitely jumped the shark. Go ahead, Easy. Just said a long time.
No, it's super important. That's another good key thing is to know the marks and know when to hit it.
Team Disney. That's what they were to me.
Timu Disney.
Team
Yeah, but
Disney. Wow.
with a lot of the shows, I felt that way. Type of shows, but I had my little brother and sister.
I think that's what my problem was because I was too old to really appreciate it and get
Yeah.
it.
So
Appreciate
that's
okay,
the
that
thing
makes
is
sense.
it wasn't meant for you. It wasn't
Yeah.
made for you. That's one of the things. Like a lot of people who come up to me and they'll tell me they have trouble with She-Hulk or they have trouble with yeah, you want to know for you. I mean, part of something we have to like look the content, not good content.
So you said that. That's probably what it was. I think because I grew up with Thundercats and Super Friends and
Great
even
shows.
though they're like if you look if you look at them now it's like all right that they're
Yeah.
kind of hokey but some of the stuff
Yeah,
that
but Silverhawks were awesome.
that was my jam. Silverhawks, what?
Silverhawks.
They were dope. So because I came up with that and I love that Spider-Man and his amazing friends and
Mhm.
I grew up with when Captain America threw his mighty shield and the whole that stuff before that and so
Different time. I got you.
yeah, it's a different time. So some of the stuff that and again trying to be creative, I can appreciate it and my kids love that stuff.
Right.
But to me, it's like I was like I just didn't get it because I couldn't connect to it. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, that was the key. The key thing is you can't necessarily connect to it, and that's like a lot of the stuff. I see that with some of the stuff like my kids like grew up watching as well, like that Henry Danger. I can't stand the show, but they love it. And I'm sure if I was their age, or younger as they grew up with it, I would love it too because it's a kid around my age who gets to hang out with adults, and Disney and Nickelodeon made the perfect formula. All adults are stupid or dead.
Yeah. Yep.
That was the thing. They're either dead. Your parents are either dead or stupid, and that was the only way that you were able to pull off everything else that was going on there. They followed the Saved by the Bell moniker.
All right, my connection was a little bit unstable, but I just want to get everyone's picks. Easy. You said your wasted time was Caillou.
Caillou, yeah.
Overrated and your underrated was what again? I was going in and out.
Oh, we actually didn't even get there.
We didn't even get there.
We
right.
just started. We just started riffing off. We just started riffing off.
Got you. Okay, Professor.
So I actually mentioned my waste of time, and then the professor mentioned his overrated.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to keep up, and then I froze.
Yeah, no, I got you. I understand. We got a little Andy Warholish with it.
All right, I understand.
And that's fine. That's fine. So I'll agree that my waste of time would probably actually. I'm going to say Barney.
Barney's waste of time. Okay.
Barney's a waste of time. Barney's a waste of time. The songs were never that inventive. It was just when you grew up watching Sesame Street, you understand how these things play out and all those different aspects of it. Sesame Street had me speaking Spanish at 3 or 4 years old, and speaking it well. You know, so it's different. Like, you know, when you get in the Barney, it's like, you know, the best part about Barney was Death to Smoochie. That was the best part about
That's
Barney.
a great film. I love that.
That is a
Robin
great film. It's
Williams.
by
Oh
far,
my
yes,
goodness.
Robin Williams being incredible. Robin Williams,
Yeah.
you know, but you know, Death to Smoochie by far one of the best reasons. That's the if I had to live through a million years of Barney, I'd need at least 1,000,002 years of Death to Smoochie.
Overrated.
And that was my overrated was Barney.
Does
Oh no, sorry, waste of time. Overrated was what I mentioned already. I already mentioned the overrated was Caillou,
Okay.
and then the underrated. Underrated. I haven't mentioned the good one yet.
Okay.
Um, you know, one of the things that I always thought was completely underrated was Gummy Bears. That show was like one of my
The
favorite.
Disney cartoon?
The Disney cartoon, yeah. Gummy bears bouncing here and there and everywhere.
Oh wow,
Like,
okay.
yeah, you know, phenomenal show. And the way that they told stories, it reminded you of kind, because again, I also was that kid that was playing D&D and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, you had the orcs and the you know the ogres and all this kind of stuff, you know, in that type of universe. It was fun. Plus, who doesn't like gummy bears? You know, whoever tells you they didn't like gummy bears are lying to you, or they've never had a freaking gummy bear.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm good.
Professor, you're underrated and you're
My
a waste of time. Yeah, because we only got so much time left.
Yeah, my underrated. Well, let me do my waste of time. So, the Nickelodeon like live action shows like iCarly.
Okay.
That
Fair
one
enough.
in particular. That one in particular. I don't know what they were trying to do with that. I don't know why that even existed.
And then you find out the real story behind it, and you're like, ew, grosser.
That it's. I really tried. I really tried to. I really tried to figure it out. My daughter loved that show, but I really tried to understand like what. That girl that played the main character, she was like awful. She was an awful actress. She was funny.
Miranda Cosgrove.
Yeah, she's funny looking, the whole 9 yards. The real gem of that one was Kat, the other character, the blonde chick. She was amazing. They tried to take advantage of her, putting her with Sam and with Ariana Grande for Sam and Cat, their show, their spinoff show. What a waste of talent. That was frustrating to me. What a bad move, Nickelodeon. Shame on you. But an underrated one. There was this show that was on, and even though the main character I didn't really dig too much, the supporting cast, including Ariana Grande, Victorious, that show.
That was a good show.
That was a good show. They had a host of talented singers and dancers and performers in that show. It was like fame for this generation.
Yeah.
That school, it was amazing.
And
Andre,
actually,
that lead, that kid, the black kid with the dreads, he was dope. Like he was amazing as a songwriter and
you know where I found him in. He was premiered in August Rush.
Really?
Yeah, he was a street performer. He was a street performer that brings him into meeting with Robin Williams. One of my most favorite movies. I've seen it a trillion and a half times. So
what a great performer. So yeah, so that one was really underrated. I really wish that they had of continued that show. Again, I don't think that the main character, Victoria Justice, she was anything to write home about, but the cast around her was phenomenal, and it was written really well. Like I really appreciated that. So there you go. I already told you what my overrated one was, the whole Nickelodeon thing, some of their cartoons, and the waste of time was iCarly, and underrated was Victorious.
Well, all right, I'm gonna quickly go over my three because we got the last minute. My waste of time is the Wiggles.
Nice. I agree.
Or grown men should not be like that.
I forgot about them.
Well
Holy
done.
crap.
Well done.
My
cringy for real, the Wiggles.
That was funny. My overrated cat dog. Never got into it.
Yeah.
A lot of people thought it was
Yeah.
popular. Cat
Same,
Dog is my
same.
overrated.
Yeah, it was man.
My underrated
Uh-oh.
Legends of the Hidden Temple. I always wanted to be on that show when I was a little kid.
That was a good
And
show.
just going in there. Legends of the Hidden Temple was a great show.
I wanted to be on that show
That
so bad.
obstacle course was amazing.
I know. I was too old to even want to be on that show anymore, but I still loved it.
It looked so cool when I was little.
It did. It did.
Just like going, that made me want to go to Universal Studios just to be part of that game show.
Yeah.
It was so interactive.
My God, that was dope.
Especially when you get trapped in it, and then like I think like the villagers come and get you. Like it was so good. They have an adult version of Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Really?
I think they have it in Vegas. I gotta look more into that, and that will be for volume 20. I'll do that'll be my personal homework.
Yeah, please, because if I feel like I'll hurt myself if I try to do that, but it was.
But it'll be so much fun. That's
I
the
know.
thing.
I know. Good one. Good one.
Volume 19 has come to a close for Three Nerds venting. Myself, Preston, Easy Blues, and the OG Blurred, the Professor. We thank you. We appreciate you. We'll see you back for more madness every Monday on WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven. We appreciate all y'all. Thank you so much.
Wondering what to write about, trying to figure out what it's all about. Existentialist, am I worth anything or just a scout? I don't know.